Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another crypto video. As always, it is Nick here, back through daily crypto news and analysis. I hope everybody is having a great Monday. I know that Mondays suck, but hey, we got to get through it. We will be victorious at the end of the day anyways. So overall, I hope everybody's been enjoying the daily crypto content. If you guys have, definitely hit that like button. Also subscribe and turn notifications on if you guys haven't already. But overall, the market looks crispy. It looks like it's ready to launch. It could have some fluctuations. Like I said, October is always a little shaky in the beginning, but as we do range on, October is a fantastic month. But we are not talking about short term. We are not talking about the market in today's video. We are going to be talking about three specific assets. We are going to be talking about XRP. We are going to be talking about Hedera Hashgraph. And last but not least, we are going to be talking about QNT. So, what do all three of these assets have in common? Well, it's very, very simple. They all three pertain to a certain cause. That is the future of finance. CBDCs, we're talking about digitization of the entire financial sector. We are also talking about digitization of just payments in general. Tokenization of pretty much everything. You go and buy a new car. Your title for your car is a tokenized asset. You go buy a house. It's a tokenized asset. That is essentially the future of tokenization. But we talk about digitization of the banking sector because we need to. We see, as you guys did see today, Bank of America was actually down. They had mass outages, pretty much globally. So when we're talking about these massive banks going down, we talk about banks not being efficient enough to handle the scalability factors of the current demand. We talk about banks basically being the worst pretty much experience that we could ever experience in regards to finance. So when we're talking about banks, banks need to upgrade. What do they need? They need ISO 222 tokens. They need ISO 222 messaging. Listen, guys, we have been talking about this forever now on this channel. We've been talking about ISO 222 tokens. We've been talking about utility assets that are in the fintech area. And look at this. This is pure 100%. This is pretty much the case of ISO 222 tokens being adopted in. The proof is in front of you guys. Federal Reserve Board announces the reserve banks will adopt a new message format for the Fedwire funds service and invites public comment on proposal to expedite adoption. This is essentially talking about the US CBDC, essentially, by the way, which we've discussed multiple times. We're going to also discuss a little bit in this video as well in regards to Hedera Hashgraph. Now, they did announce this today. They are talking about adopting the ISO 222 message format for the Fedwire Funds service. They pretty much announced that they will be doing that. We also see here the change will allow for enhanced efficiency of both domestic and cross-border payments. Cross-border payments, we've only been talking about that forever now. And a richer set of payment data that may help banks and other entities comply with sanctions and anti-money laundering requirements. We also see that they invited the public to comment on a revised plan for migrating the Fedwire Funds service to the new message format. Now, when we're talking about this, right, we talk about the real-time gross settlement system that is owned and operated by the Federal Reserve banks. It enables businesses and financial institutions to transfer funds quickly and securely. Ooh, wow. Okay, so what will allow these financial institutions to transfer funds quickly and securely? Well, we do know that XRP is extremely fast in regards to transfers. We also know that it is also secure, but we also talk about Hedera Hashgraph being extremely fast and also extremely scalable and ABFT compliant, or I should say ABFT pretty much consensus, which is the highest grade of security possible. So, when we're talking about that asynchronous Byzantine fault-tolerant aspect of Hedera Hashgraph, I think that comes in clutch for financial institutions and also enterprise-grade use cases, as we've mentioned multiple times. So, could Hedera Hashgraph be the choice for this? 100%. Now, we do talk about XRP a lot, and where does XRP come into play with this? Well, it's not the idea that they're going to choose one or the other. It's not a competition basis here, and I've mentioned that multiple times, as we do know that all three of these could essentially be connected to one another. For an example, when we look at Hedera Hashgraph, here are the Hedera plugins and microservices. We do see R3 Corda, which is directly correlated to XDC. Also, Corda is perfectly connected to, guess what? Quant networks. As we do see down here, we see Overledger for Oracle blockchain platform. We see Overledger for Corda, Overledger for Hyperledger Fabric, which is perfect for Hedera Hashgraph. We also see Hyperledger Basu, which Hedera Hashgraph smart contracts v2.0 are built on. So it's very interesting to see that almost nearly all of these assets could easily be connected to one another. Again, Overledger for Ripple provides a standard API for working with Ripple. So again, customers do not need their own Ripple nodes or to learn the low-level interfaces, formats, and cryptography that are usually involved in developing applications. This is for plug and play. I've just discussed this just the other day in regards to this. But when we're talking about all of these, they could all easily be plug and played through Hyperledgers, through Corda, even through some other plugins here as in regards to logging tools and logging tools, again, going to Apache. So a lot of these are just kind of plug and play logging tools down here. This is nothing too crazy, but these are the two big ones. These are permission blockchain frameworks. These are the big names in this game. These two will provide Hedera Hashgraph, XRP, and a lot of other fintech coins in this space like XDC the ability to connect and transact with all of these assets, meaning XRP could easily transact with Hedera and vice versa if a CBDC is built on one or the other in regards to a DLT or a private ledger technology, which in response to that, again, we go all the way back to the CBDC or the future of CBDCs from Ripple themselves. They're talking about why we need this. They're talking about China's testing of the digital yuan payment system potentially threatens the US dollar's position as the dominant global reserve currency. Its proposed launch is February 2022. We already see massive amounts of adoption happening around the world in regards to digital currency. So it's only a matter of time with this, but we also see here the main benefits: enhance existing payment infrastructure, promote financial inclusion, encourage greater competition, foster innovation, maintain control. Again, this all goes back to even Hedera's overall use cases and the provided balance that they have on the Project New Dawn initiative, right, which is the US CBDC. Now, we do know that they could essentially build on a private ledger or a DLT technology like the XRP ledger, which of course we've discussed multiple times on this channel. Again, a lot of these are incredible. The XRP ledger is a perfect ledger for CBDCs as well. I think that pretty much any of these ledgers could be the #1 choice, but I think in regards to the highest grade of security, Hedera Hashgraph is beating any other asset in this space with that. But it doesn't mean that it's going to be the #1 choice or the only choice for CBDCs. No, XRP could easily be chosen as well. Now, central banks will essentially have control over that ledger itself. It's the private ledger built for CBDCs. So when we're talking about XRP is going to be the main choice for a lot of these financial institutions, as it is already partnered with 300 plus financial institutions. But I don't think it's going to be the #1 choice for central banks in regards to the CBDCs. Of course, a lot of financial institutions are already adopting XRP at the pretty much basis of it in regards to QMB here, Ripple partner on cross-border payments. This just happened today. When we're talking about cross-border payments, Ripple is becoming the big name for this. Now, in regards to CBDCs, who knows who is going to be the big name, but we do know that they want everything to be interoperable with one another in regards to all of these DLT technologies. Why do you think they are going to try to do that? Well, it's very, very simple. They want to be able to connect and plug and play very easily with all of these other assets. And look at what comes into mind when I mention this. QNT being the DLN, the Distributed Ledger Network, for all DLT technologies. DLTs are going to be a huge interest for a lot of these central banks. It could be XRP, it could be ALGO, it could be Hbar, it could be XDC. There's so many assets out there, but we do know that Hedera Hashgraph and XRP are very, very well positioned to overtake the CBDC pretty much stage. Again, when we talk about the Project New Dawn or the PND, this is the white paper, right? Look at who's mentioned here. We see interoperability, digital cash blockchain and utilize its infrastructure as cash becomes deposits and vice versa. Now, in regards to this, right? The digital cash blockchain can be integrated with existing systems and does not require major retooling of the current banking system. Further, working with the Hedera Hashgraph network, we will develop further understanding on how to use the interoperability to provide trust in the private CBDC network. This is pretty much proof of the idea on how or slash why Hedera Hashgraph will be utilized in such a massive gateway, because it's the idea of it being interoperable with pretty much any other financial service out there, as well as any other DLT technology, and it is also the highest grade security measurements for enterprise and also central banks. Now, please do not undermine the idea of XRP being used on a massive scale as well. Trust me, they will. When we're talking about what they are doing in regards to the financial network, it all comes back to RippleNet, essentially in regards to the ODL services. We also see, ODL services are going to be the massive global payment gateway for a lot of countries and currency pairs, as we do see even here, right? So I think overall, when we're talking about XRP's main idea isn't central bank digital currencies. I think it's being the bridge for those central bank digital currencies instead of it being the ledger that all of these CBDCs are built on. But I do see that a lot of these DLTs have the potential to do that. The XRP ledger could easily, provide trust and also a way of building on for CBDCs, as we already know from the past. It's hard to tell which one is going to be the number one choice, or if there will be a number one choice. We just know that at this current moment, right now, Hedera Hashgraph has been mentioned multiple times in regards to the US CBDC. XRP has been mentioned multiple times in other overseas CBDCs in regards to, we talk about the Bank of England. We also talk about multiple other major banks wanting to utilize XRP as their main CBDC network, talking about the digital euro, talking about the digital pound. There's a lot of conversation coming up. All we know that right now, currently, Hedera Hashgraph and XRP have the massive amounts of partnerships ready to pretty much catapult them into the space of CBDCs, to allow them to have massive amounts of transactional data flow over their network, to allow for a massive amount of price appreciation. I will continue to say that because that is overall what is happening right now. But we do know that we are providing, at this current moment, massive amounts of liquidity for cross-border payments for XRP in regards to what just happened today with QMB. This is happening pretty much everywhere, right? As being the test cross-border payment sector. So when we're talking about, Ripple and RippleNet, RippleNet, of course, being powered by XRP essentially at most points. I shouldn't say it's powered by XRP, but I should say RippleNet has the potential to allow these individuals to utilize XRP. But in regards to Ripple and RippleNet, they're providing immense value for a lot of these banks already in regards to cross-border payments in that sector. Hbar already providing immense amounts of pretty much value to a lot of their clients and customers. And again, when we're talking about these plug-and-play aspects, I think that is the end game, right? Allowing some sort of CBDC to utilize Hedera's ABFT consensus, all while utilizing its speed and efficiency, but also being able to transact through Hedera with, say for so, something like, Ripple and XRP. That's the end game here, through a connection or a plugin like Hyperledger or Corda. And when we're talking about these massive connections here, when we're talking about, being able to connect through one or the other, I always come back to QNT, because QNT is such a massive asset with all of its connections as well. So again, when we're talking about the end game here, the end game is just being able to have one or more of these DLTs. Pretty much, it's going to be multiple ones. Hedera is not going to power every single CBDC. It's not going to power the US. It's not going to power the digital euro. It's not going to power the digital pound as well. I think XRP will also be a choice for one or the other as well. Same with Hedera. But who knows what the future will look like. But all I know is that these assets are massive giants in the space, and they're massive gems at the current point, because when we're talking about the ISO 222 adoption, that comes back to XRP. XRP is ISO 222 compliant. We know that they are in the real-time gross settlement system sector in regards to replacing SWIFT, which is $5 trillion a day in transactional volume. And we also talk about the fact that ODL services could unlock massive potential for a lot of B2B payments as well as banks in general. Then we also talk about SMEs in regards to line of credit, which is again billions of dollars within that time frame as well, allowing XRP to hit those massive high targets in regards to its main price appreciation points, which we're talking about thousands of dollars per XRP. Now, again, I know a lot of people think that that's crazy to think of, but when you look at what's happening, it's moving very fast. So overall, to really kind of wrap it up, I'll give you guys this insight, right? Do more research on CBDCs, look into XRP and also Hbar and how they will be utilized in that sector, and then also look into QNT and how that is connecting all of these networks together, because this is going to be one massive data stream of a DLT technology aspect to transact and move trillions of dollars through an ecosystem bridge utilizing XRP, Hbar, and other DLT technologies out there. But these three are huge names in this game. XRP for what it is in regards to a massive cross-border bridge currency, Hbar for being the highest grade of security and trust layer of the internet, and then of course QNT essentially being the connection to all. This is the end game that we're talking about. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen next week, but this is moving very fast, and we could expect this to move very fast as well in regards to 2022 to 2025. Somewhere in that basis, we are going to see a huge change of heart in this entire space. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.